these are the 5 things that you need in order to make friends with other guys. Some of this sounds probably pretty familiar. Others of it I haven't seen anyone else talk about. And I learned all of this through pain and trial and error in my day with tons of volume and repetition, and I can absolutely vouch for the validity of these things. Okay, let's jump right in. Okay, so making friends with guys. This one's a little interesting because one thing you have to know is that guys are always like looking out. We're always kind of like subconsciously looking for any sort of like threat, right? Most people respond to either value or threat. Guys, especially since I don't know what it is, testosterone or something, we're always like, who are you? Like, what's that? Like, be careful, you know, we're always like, just like, be careful. And so here's the thing here is, first thing we want is mutual respect. And the reason this is really, really important, and I put it all the way at the top, is because if you rock up to a new social circle or a new potential guy friend, and he can tell that you're just like not giving him the time of day, you're being flippant, maybe you're just being a little bit antagonistic or dismissive of him, the very gut reaction like most guys are gonna have is they're gonna be like, screw this guy, I do not like you, and I'm going to spend my time and energy focused on battling this person. That is not a good way to make friends, is disrespecting people. So that's just like the foundational baseline. And then the other one, this one gets really funky, and there's a lot of different applications you can use for this, is the social IQ. So the social intelligence, even if you have respect for a guy that you are thinking of potentially befriending, he needs to know that you are not going to be a burden. He needs to know that you are going to be able to relate and have a positive emotional outcome with most, if not all, of the people that are within his sphere of influence or within his social circle. Because if you have a bad social IQ, we all know these guys. We all know them. They rock up and they immediately just like ignore all the guys, and they only, you know, talk to like the one girl that think is attractive, and it just feels like you've been used if you don't basically engage with the group. The group is so important, and social intelligence is also going to be revealed like over time. But the biggest thing is that first impression. They want to know that you can, on a basic level, just get along with everybody. Later down the line, social IQ is going to envelop a bunch of other stuff. Does this person like know how to like pitch in, like not be a taker? Does this person understand that sometimes you're gonna have to like roll with the punches? Sometimes you have to personally, get the short, end of the stick in order for the group to have a good outcome. So for example, let's say, your car is the only one that seats like, 8 people and there's a trip coming up. If you get ahead of that, that can actually work in your favor, and if you offer. But also, if people ask and you're able to, it's always good to be able to help people out, and that's another facet of social IQ. Non-neediness. This one's huge. Okay, so let's say you have respect, and let's say you have social intelligence. You got a good personality, a good vibe. You need to be really careful, and this will seep out in your actions. People will be able to tell this. You need to be able to be normal around people. So let's say you get into like a really like cool social circle that is, connects to like nightlife or, like bungee jumping or, restaurants, city connections. That is, like everyone knows when you don't actually care about them and you only care about like the thing that you can use them for. Everybody knows that. And so you have to be able to be non-needy around people that might have something that you value. You can access whatever value that you want from them, but you have to not disguise it, or, and I should say, you also have to be upfront about it. You just can't hide it, basically. Okay, additive. So additive in nature. You basically want your value, right, to be coming primarily from yourself, your emotions, your interactions with like people in the group, aka lifting other people up and not yourself. And when you're additive in value, now you're not just like a floating rock, right? Now you're not just taking up space, you're actively adding something back into it, whether it's just good vibes or being somebody that like other people can count on. That's what you want, is to be additive. And then the final one is you have to have a backbone. People can't trust you if they don't know what you're really after. People can't trust you if you will fall for anything. And if they can step over you, that means everyone else can. So they can't trust that. So you need to have a backbone, and you have to balance that with also knowing when to be considerate of other people's like needs and wants, essentially. This actually comes from a book. You need to be courageous for your own needs and wants, but you have to balance that with consideration for other people's needs and wants. I believe that's like from the book 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. That was one of the big takeaways from that, because everyone has both of those, needs and wants, and it's a balancing act, trying to like figure that out. So those are the 5 keys to basically befriending guys. Quick little anecdote and story to go with that. There was this one guy that I just thought was super cool in my life, and he was a dude that was also like an up and coming like DJ. He was kind of like earmarked just for success. He had a lot of good basic charisma. Like his charisma was, out the wazoo. He was just killing it. You like to be around this guy. Okay, so basically here's the situation. He and I went to work out. His homegirl came up, started talking to him, and dude, they were like talking for like, 15, 20 minutes. That's a long time in like gym time, right? And I wanted to, I wanted to be right. I wanted to have priority in the session. Hey, we plan to hang out together. Why are you only talking to this girl? So I literally just went off and like did my own thing. Not, the best move. In hindsight, it would have been cooler just to roll with the punch that time. It would have been a better idea to just, chill out, befriend her as well, and stop worrying about how other people were perceiving me so much. And then we could have been good buds, but that ended up not happening because it just introduced a lot of awkwardness and tension into the dynamic, and so we never really kind of saw eye to eye after that. But I always thought that that was the right thing to do until I matured, and a couple of years later kind of like revisited it. And that's how you learn. So go out there and make sure that you cover like these 5 bases. It doesn't have to be a super conscious like exercise. You don't have to be like rocking up to people like, okay, do I have like my 5 things ready to befriend other guys? It doesn't have to be like that. Just be aware of them while you're interacting. Actions that can go a long way towards this is basically don't overextend yourself for something. Offer to help, sure, but don't go like way overboard for something. Like if you're not like that tight with somebody, don't drive them like an hour and a half, away for somewhere that they only need to be or something like that. And then when there are opportunities, try to be proactive about like helping people. And then also, if you're able to, one of the easiest ways to be additive in like value, especially when most of what you're bringing is just your beautiful self to the group, essentially try to get off of logical conversation and start engaging in more illogical conversation as you are able to. Because everyone is tired of hearing, oh, what do you do? What do you study? Blah, blah, blah. Easy ways to get to this are just start tagging certain like emotional topics, like, oh, like, are you seeing anybody right now? Or, who's your gym nemesis? Or, have you heard about blah, blah, blah drama that's related to, some tangential commonality that you guys have. That's a very easy way to get off of the logical convo. Once you guys have gotten past like the small talk, it's an easy way to open things up and see where you guys stand kind of in terms of chemistry. Okay, go out there, make some friends, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.